this feels illegal. Okay, so I'm on the floor right now, and I'm going to give you some context as to why. Basically, me and my partner have just gotten like a kitchen table, somewhere to eat at, somewhere to help with food prep. We were eating dinner on the couch for a few months there, which was, you know what, I don't mind it, but it's probably not the best long term. I don't know. There was a specific IKEA table that has like a frame around it. I'll insert a photo here that we were looking at, and we were just kind of umming and ahhing about it for like 2 months because we're like, oh, $200, like, let's think about it, let's save up for it. And then browsing Facebook Marketplace, I found someone selling the exact same table with 4 stools I ended up negotiating it down to $130, which was a steal. And the guy was super nice. It was him and his partner who were selling it, and they were both super nice. They helped us disassemble it and put it in our car. Amazing. I love when Facebook Marketplace works. So we've got that now, and the stools that came with it they're backless. And they're metal, so they're, a bit hard, a bit uncomfortable. You wouldn't want to be sitting there very long, and because they're backless, cushioning is a bit of a tricky one, right? Because what do I attach a cushion to? So I'll see if I can find a photo of the specific stools, because I assume they're also from IKEA. But this is what they look like. They actually have a hole in the center and a little cross of like metal bars. And I think like if I could make a pillowcase that meets with strands, tie the strands down the center hole and tie them to that grid, then like a pillow will sit pretty well. I actually made a prototype and I left it at my partner's because I haven't moved in yet. We're doing a transitional, it's a whole thing. Anyway, I actually left it there by accident because I was going to need that to make sure that I was making all the other ones right to size, but it's fine. It's fine. The other thing is that I managed to get this self-healing cutting mat and rotary cutter off of Facebook Marketplace. I paid $20 for this, $15 for this. Also, Steel, lovely person who sold it to me. She was super nice. She also threw in some free safety pins, which I'm like, yeah, I'm a crafter. I'm always going to need safety pins. Really nice experience. And my original thought was, because I'm making these pillowcases out of an old sheet, which, by the way, do not buy bed threads. It is all marketing. For the price that they sell you stuff for, I should have not, where is it? This is a fitted sheet, and after like a year or so, it had this like massive hole rip in it. I don't even have a dryer. Like, I hang dry my clothes, so I don't know how a hole this big, I'll show you the other side because I had to stitch it up to make it last a bit longer. Like, I just like sewed it up here. I don't understand how they can go around charging people so much when a hole this big will appear in it after 1 year of usage and no time in the dryer. Like, what made this disintegrate? There was also another one here, like you can kind of see on the back end. I didn't sew it up super nice because the way it frayed was really ugly. Like, it wasn't an easy mend. And you can see here, this is a full tangent, but I just want to save you the money, because if you've been getting ads for bed threads, save your money. Look, like there's holes here forming that hadn't like fully. How can they charge the prices they charge? And then this happens to a fitted sheet after 1 year. Also, the thing that made me go like, look, I'm not even going to bother to keep repairing it was the elastic broke in it. And so what didn't even work as a fitted sheet anymore. And I was just like, I'm done. I'm now using this broken fitted sheet to make the pillows. And initially the reason I got this rotary cutter was because I was going to like make a bunch of little fabric scraps to then stuff the pillows with. And then I started to do that for the prototype, and it was very flat. It was kind of stiff. I wasn't loving it. And I had a thought about some of the yarn that I'm not using. And I feel like this is going to be sacrilegious, but it is also incredibly satisfying. So I'm going to show you what I do. I've got two balls, like 100 gram skeins of mill end yarn that I haven't used yet. It's definitely acrylic. I can just tell kind of by looking at the fibers and the fact that it was such a low price point. I'm going to make some pillow stuffing, which could be argued as quite wasteful, but this yarn has been sitting in my stash for over 2 years and I still haven't come to it. And because I think I paid about $10 for 4 of these balls, to me it's better for me to use this for stuffing than to go out and spend like $15-20 on polyfill when it could do the same job, and it's something I already have and it's something I could put to use. So that is why I'm doing this. This might be a bit of a weird angle, but at least you can properly see. So I'm going to take my rotary cutter. It's always so like spooky when you do it. I'm just going to start with the top of it. Oh my God. This feels illegal. It really does. But I'm telling you, it works really well for stuffing. Like, it's so fluffy. So I like to kind of get the top off of a ball of yarn, because I think it took me about 3 100-gram skeins to fill a pillow, for what I'm making. Look at that though, isn't that bizarre? It feels wrong, right? But anyway, I'll take that top off and just put it aside, because I'll have to do this a few times before I can actually stuff the pillow. But now, this is the wild thing. I'm just gonna make sure you can see. You can like peel it like a fruit or something. Oh my God. And then when you peel like this layer here, which is just bizarre, I feel like I'm like dissecting something, because you never see a ball of yarn like this, probably rightfully so. But hey, at least you get to see it this way and you don't have to do it yourself. Unless you're in a similar situation than me, and this would be cheaper than buying actual polyfill. But then yeah, now that it's thinner, the rotary cutter just kind of goes straight through it. I feel like someone's going to tell me that this dulls the blade, which in that case, I'll probably just replace the blade, because there's no way I'm doing this with scissors. Like, I shudder to think about how long this kind of thing would take with just scissors. And look, it is like so squishy and like has great bounce, works really well for pillow stuffing. I am so sorry. Like, I know that this is wrong and it's probably breaking a few people's hearts, but it's also very fascinating. Like I said, it feels like I'm dissecting something. This is how much stuffing I have after one 100-gram skein of yarn. I'm probably gonna have to repeat this 3 more times to get enough for my next pillow, and I'm making 4 pillows total. I need about 12 balls of yarn, which I think I actually have, which is kind of sad. We'll see how it goes. If I run out, I'll return back to making it out of fabric, but this is working so well that I kind of don't want to do that. That is another pillow down. I've just hand sewed it closed with like, I had a better match yarn wise somewhere in my stash, but I cannot find it now. So I'm just using green yarn because this is going to go inside a pillowcase anyway. I'm not really precious about how it looks. But look, oh sorry, I think I'm banging on the mic by doing that. But like, look, it is just so, yeah. I'm very happy with the choice to use yarn inside here. The size I think is pretty good. I just overlocked each edge, left that little bit of gap so I could stuff it, turned it inside out, stuffed it with the yarn, which I have about this much left. I also am realizing that I probably have some scrap yarn, because I don't know if I'm going to have enough just balls of yarn that I'm probably not going to use that I could use for this instead. But I think I might have some like waste yarn from what I was using with my Centro that could go inside here as well. I'm just gonna have to keep cutting stuff and seeing how we go. But this means that I'm 2 pillows down, 2 more to go, and then I need to make the pillowcases. Okay, so I have 3 pillows. The 4th one is currently not here, but that shouldn't be a problem for me making the actual cushion covers. These were made out of a scrap bed sheet, and so, well, the cushion covers. So this is, I think, a set that I got from like Aldi a while ago. That was like a linen quilt set. I didn't end up loving it because like one side is like a cotton and then the other side is what's linen, which like, I don't know, just texturally I didn't love. So I actually haven't used it in a while. And I just feel like this linen would be really nice as a cushion cover. So let's do that. This is it. I've made some adjustments. Rather than having it fold around the pillow 2.5 times, I've just basically done like 2.1 times. I just want the ends to kiss with seam allowance. Because what I want to do is have these edges of the pillowcase meet so that I can add straps here and tie them to secure them closed, but then also have the bottom secure to the stools. That's my thinking. What I need to do now is finish these hems and then sew it together inside out so that when I flip it the right way, the seams are closed. Oh, and then do it again 3 more times. Okay, popping in with an update because we have our first pillowcase. It's pretty gapey in the back, I'll be honest. I don't know if I'm gonna fix that though because sorry, just seeing it gape like that made me laugh. Oh my god. Ideally it would be like that, which I suppose I could get it closer to looking like that if I take it in on the sides a bit. There's just like a bit of length there. Because I want it to kind of sit like just closed, because when I add the ties here, like I don't want to create bulk by pulling edges closer together or like, you know, opening it up to tie it. So they kind of just need a touch. But I think what I'm going to do is just top stitch the straps in. Also I have to make more of these. What I did when I was cutting out the pillowcase pieces is that I just cut out a bunch of these straps. They're vaguely the same, but like not too close. I haven't even changed the thread on my sewing machine or overlocker for this project because, well, firstly I was like, there's no way I'm bothered to change rethread my overlocker for pillowcases. And then when I pulled out my sewing machine, I was like, well, if I'm not changing the overlocking thread, I'm not going to change the sewing thread. For me, I don't need it to look like it was bought from Anthropologie. I just want something that's comfy and like doesn't really draw attention, which I think it will do. Like, I mean, it's grey linen. I am going to stitch up these straps individually. So just fold them in half, overlock that seam there, turn them inside out, top stitch them to the edge. That way they should tie together without causing too much bulk. And I'm hoping I think this length will be enough to like comfortably tie a knot onto the bars underneath the stool. I'm feeling good about it. I'm gonna make the rest of the pillowcases, add the straps, and then we'll be done on that. But I still have to make, oh, it's 9 o'clock already. I still have to dye yarn. Ugh. So we have our first completed pillow and pillowcase. I've just knotted it up here. I am probably going to make one more, like complete one more tonight, because I need to get to dyeing some yarn, and it's nearly 10:30, guys. Anyway, I think it turned out fine. I ended up for pretty much all of the pillowcases taking it in on the top and the bottom seams because it was just too loose. What I did for the straps, oh, I've double knotted this. Why would I do that? So I need to clean up the threads, but I basically, like I said, overlocked this edge. It all needs a press as well. I need to press all the seams. Then I just overlocked this outside seam and folded it over itself so that it just like lays like that. The pillowcase itself does sit closed, and I was right about not wanting there to be too much overlap. Basically, if this gap was bigger, when I went to tie it, it would sit more closed. But because there is a bit of overlap, it actually opens itself up when I tie it. But that'll be facing down, that'll be tied to the bottom of the chair. This should just support your butt on a stool. I'm pretty happy with how it's looking. I think that the linen looks really nice. I'm really glad to have gotten to use some scrap yarn as the filling. I need to get onto yarn dyeing, so I think I might just complete a second case, so at least I have 2 to bring with me when I head to my partner's later this week. But otherwise, yeah, I gotta get to some yarn dyeing. I'm basically making a Sophie shawl at the moment, and I'm so close to being done, guys. I've been using Knit Pick Stroll in the undyed colorway and holding 2 strands of that. It's a 4-ply yarn with 1 strand of Big Little Yarn Co's colorway Hanabi. It looks beautiful, like, oh, I think it's gorgeous. It's just the colors, I don't know, it looks like confetti, fairy bread. I love it. Problem is, I am way short on yarn. I am running out. And I have to pull back even further than what I've got it here, because I tried to cheat it and increase the decreases to see if I could maybe get away with just the yarn I have. But alas, that didn't work. So I'm gonna have to pull back to where this marker is here and then do it properly. And I need to dye more of this like Hanabi yarn because, man, I really thought I'd have enough. I just misjudged it. I lost yarn chicken. What's new? This is not intended to be like trying to cheat or rip off a small company. I love Big Little Yarn Co yarns. Pretty much 90% of the like hand-dyed yarn I own is from Big Little Yarn Co. This is only out of the necessity of like, because of this colorway, I don't have anything that I could hold with this bare yarn that would make sense. I just want to try and dye a yarn that is like multicolored enough that the transition between the yarns won't be too obvious and I can just finish the shawl. That's my only intention. I mean no disrespect. But to do that, I need to hang some up so I can actually dye it. I am an amateur crafter. There is no way that I have anywhere near the expertise and artistic talent of an actual indie dyer. What I'm trying to do is just make something that isn't distracting. And if it's 1 of 3 strands I'm holding, surely it won't take up too much attention, right? I thought about like just making the end of it a different color, but I just don't think that'll look right. Like I just can't think of something. Maybe it's me not being creative enough, but I do just want the scarf to look like that, like how I have it right now, basically, but finished. So I'm gonna see what I can do. Okay, I've got a jeweler's scale. So what I'm gonna do is take the yarn, place it on here and like reverse weigh it so I can see how much I've put onto here as I go. Oh my gosh, my brain. Sometimes it does work. I don't know, we'll find out. Yeah, it is working. Okay, I'm gonna dye, I'd say about 50 grams. Oh, that should be enough to just get the Sophie shawl finished. And like, God knows I'm not gonna do this again. So I'd rather have a bit of leftover yarn than have to try and re-dye a whole nother skein, which this is already an insane idea. This is probably not gonna work. Oh, I don't know. This is moving more than I think it should be. Maybe I should do 30 grams, because that's usually what like a mini skein is, right? No, I don't want to risk it, man. I don't want to risk not having enough. Maybe, no, oh, I don't know. It's too much of a risk, guys. Maybe I'll do 40. I'll split the difference between 30 and 50 and I'll do 40. That should be enough. And I swear to God, if it isn't, I will cry. Oh, there we go. 40 grams. One more spin for good luck. Oh, actually, I'll have it meet here. Nice. I'm not going to be too precious about it. Okay. And I'm going to attach these two together. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Cool, 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 cool. So now, what I might do is use waste yarn. Or, do I want to do that? Yeah, that should be fine. Again, like, I'm so nervous this will come off as disrespectful. I don't mean for it at all. I love this small business and I buy their yarn at basically every opportunity I can. But feasibly, there's no way for me to even get this color right now because she doesn't make it right now. Actually, maybe let me double check. Maybe she, because I think I saw something about her restocking recently. Yeah, the website does talk about pre-ordering it, but then it's sold out, so you can't pre-order. So I'm pretty sure she's just not making it right now. So hopefully, oh, I mean, no offense. It's not even gonna look like the yarn. I just want to finish this stupid shawl and be done with it. Although, I do want to make the Sophie scarf afterwards because I realized that I'm not really a shawl person, I don't think. I think I'm more likely to wear the scarf. Okay, I'm gonna secure this hang, take it off, and then I'll speak to you when we're at the dyeing stage. Okay, so it looks nothing like the yarn. I don't really know what to do. I just kind of went for it. I don't know. Let me get the yarn. I want to be careful I don't like get dye on it, but the colors here are just so much richer, and I think she must have used like powder dye to do these like speckles because mine are just a muddy mess. Oh gosh, if anything, this just gives me more respect for indie dyers and the skills that they have. Obviously, like, this isn't what the yarn looks like normally because it's being held with another yarn. Oh my god, focus. But you can see here in the fabric that it's just gorge. Oh, what a shame. I'm gonna put this in the oven and hope that it's not too distracting for just that last bit of the shawl. If it is, I'm just gonna rip it out and pretend I never tried to make the shawl, to be honest. We are officially on to day 3 of this project, or I should say night 3, because that's the only time I get to work on it. And I have finished the pillows and pillowcases. I won't know what they look like in the space until tomorrow night because I'm heading over to my partner's then, and we'll be living out of a backpack for 4 days. Very fun. Mid-distance couples say what? Anyway, these are done. I actually feel like the little bow on the front could be like a cute, I don't know, maybe I'm delusional, but I feel like it's kind of cute. I didn't tie it nicely here, but there is something about it that's like rustic. You know that like photo of Kim Kardashian in like the pilgrim clothes? That's the vibe this gives me. I do think it's like a kind of cute idea, but you won't be seeing that anyway. This is going to tie it to the stool, and God, I hope it works. We will find out. But the other thing I left you hanging on was the yarn. Here she is. I would like it if I wasn't thinking about the yarn that I'm trying to recreate. If you look here, you can just see that her yarns have so much depth to them. They're like earthier. I don't know. If this was independent and like existed in a vacuum, I might like it. It might be an okay yarn. But I'm really nervous it's not going to work for what I made it for, and it's just going to be a massive waste of time. And in that case, I'm just giving up on the shawl. But I'm going to try it. I think I'm going to try and fade this yarn and this yarn. Well, technically I'll be holding 2 strands of this with 1 strand of this and fading it into this. So I probably, I should skein this up actually, because I am just going to be knitting with it. Hanks are beautiful, but they're kind of useless. It looks like a gobstopper threw up on a hank of yarn. No, I was gonna say I'm optimistic, but I'm just not. Like, I'm really nervous about this. Where did I leave off last night? I think it was when I went to put this in the oven, because by that point it was like 11:30 and I was tired. So what I did was I put the oven to 200 degrees Celsius and I put this in there in that baking dish for 20 minutes. Yeah, I did add some water because I didn't want my yarn to burn. Like, I wanted it somewhat immersed, but I soaked it in a solution of water and vinegar. I think like 1 part vinegar to 2 parts water, not super exact. And then I also mixed the dye with that vinegar and water solution so that the color would strike really fast and not move as much, which I think it has done. Regardless, I put it in for 20 minutes, took it out of the oven and let it cool to room temperature. Then I rinsed the yarn. When I rinsed it, no color came out, which makes me feel happy. I'm nervous that I'll wash this and it will be ruined, but the water ran really clean. So I feel like all of the dye was absorbed. So I'm hoping it doesn't run. I will find out when I block the shawl. But in the meantime, I'm gonna cake this up with the undyed skein so that I just have like 2 balls of yarn that I'm fading in between, and I think that'll just be easier. I'm not sure if I'm gonna film myself knitting, but I will pop in when the shawl is hopefully finished. If not, just to show you what this ended up looking like with the actual yarn. Okay, I gotta be quick because I feel like I'm in people's way and I'm really sorry about that. I did style the scarf, so I thought I would show you what it looked like finished. I think it's quite cute. I don't know, it could be bias. This is what the dye looks like up close. You can see that it is different, but I think when I'm walking around, just like going past people, I don't think it's distracting. I hope it's not distracting. It's really warm. I'm really happy with how it blocked. It became way longer when I blocked it. And I'm just kind of happy to be done with the project, to be honest. Finally, it's cold enough to wear it.